Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the showdown between the Greenskins, who shall be led by Warhammer atop his mighty wild hog, and the Dark Elves, who are going to be helmed by Malekith and his big black dragon. So whenever I hear Wild Hogs, it brings me back. Do you guys remember that movie? I think it was like 2003 or 2, maybe the end of the 90s, but it was Wild Hogs. And I remember back then we had Blockbuster. So before streaming services and Netflix and all that good stuff, you used to go to Blockbuster on a Friday night with your friends. You guys would look around, pick out movies. It was a fun time. I kind of miss that actually when I talk about it. It gets me a little bit, sad and nostalgic. But anyways, I used to have a friend who hated that movie with a passion, Wild Hogs. And Wild Hogs, that movie itself, kind of perfectly captures just that early 2000s, just terrible, just ridiculous movies that were just so cringy that they were kind of funny. And I remember I used to always rent that movie, and just my friend would come over and be like, "Oh, what'd you rent, man?" Oh, I got Wild Hogs for us to watch again. It was kind of an inside joke that went on for years. But anyways, I just figured I'd share that with you guys. But as far as the build goes, we're going to be trying something very different. So in the back, we do have Doom Diver catapults. So we have 2 of these. And now, I don't think they're the most competitive pick in the world, but I think they do have an okay application against Dark Elves. Oftentimes, Dark Elves are going to have maneuverability and Corsairs with handbows and just a lot of stuff that you can't really effectively catch with the Greenskins. So, you can catch them, but it's still tough, right? They have really good cap themselves. So we're going to be trying Doom Diver catapults and just, going downtown, shooting at whatever we can. And we're going to be seeing how it works. It may pay off, it may not, but you know what? We're here to have some fun. We're here to party. So the front line is going to be the Gobbo squad. So we have the 8th Peak Loonies, as well as the Warlords boys, and 2 groups of Black Orcs and a group of Nasty Skulkers who's just there to help out against charges and things like that. On top of that, we got Orc Arrow boys across the front line. We got the Rusty Errors and 2 groups of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders in the back, and 2 of the Nasty Skulkers that just help defend the back line. Obviously, Doom Diver catapults and my other troops. I have a lot of stuff to protect, right? 2 Doom Divers, 3 Archers. It's going to be a handful. So a bit of an experimental build, but nonetheless, I think it's quite strong. And you guys will get to see it in action. And let's take a look at this Dark Elf army here. So for the army of Hadries, he does have Dark Riders here. He's got Slaanesha's Harvesters up in the sky. He's got Big Daddy Malekith on the Big Black Dragon. This guy's tough for the Greenskins to handle. Effigy plus Arrow Fire can do pretty good. Nasty Skulkers can do well, but I didn't bring any other Wild Hogs aside from Wurzog, so we're gonna have our hands full dealing with this Big Black Dragon. Dark Riders here. The front line's going to be some skirmishing, and Corsair handbows are pretty good against Greenskins. They won't do a ton of damage against Black Orcs, but against Goblins and light armor, and they can actually outrun most infantry with 40 speed, so they're going to be safe. But we got the DIVIN Goblins coming in, and hopefully we'll get some good damage. But they still have 80 armor, which is going to help them against a low AP of my. Although I guess they're low AP on the Doom Divers. In the back, he's got Dread Spears. He's got the Sisters of Singing Doom for Terror, the Hellbroni, as well as the Sisters of Slaughter. So it's mainly going to be a skirmish force, and if he can get in the back line and disrupt my Doom Divers and get onto my Archers, that's really going to be his key to victory. On top of that, he has a ton of Dark Riders here. So he was definitely expecting a missile build or a lot of missile play. I almost went with the Death Star using a bunch of Black Orcs and Spiders and things like that, but it's going to be a fierce one for sure. Can he get into the back line? Can he get into that cookie jar? Let us find out. So in the back line, I'm rush out to intercept with my Forest Goblin Spider Riders, trying to shut those guys down. And in the front, we have a little bit of fighting. My Archers are going to be returning fire here on the repeater crossbows, and the Black Orcs are just going to be kind of squaring up. I'm like, you know what? My Doom Divers doing a little bit of steady damage against these guys, and it's not bad. So far, they're doing very well, so quite happy about that. My Archers up in the sky, going to be shooting at, well, they're not up in the sky. They're going to be shooting at Malekith. And the Gaze of Malice does come down here, which is going to be roasting some of my Skulkers. A nice little cast right there. In response, I do get the Slaanesha's Harvesters with the FG of the Get, and I'm going to be charging them with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So they don't get the charge. I get the Goblin Big Boss. I get the Baconator in there. And we will be popping the Wah in just a moment. But here you can see he's kind of swamping my back line a little bit. Granted, we get a Smoke Bomb here. We tie down these Dark Riders. We probably won't lose our Doom Divers. And at the very least, hopefully we'll be able to stop these guys. You can see it's actually going pretty good. So we are going to be chewing those guys down. Over here in this fight against these Slaanesha's Harvesters, it went quite well, but Hadries is able to kind of squeak away there, so very, very good play there. But the Forest Goblin Spider Riders do have the Word of Pain. They were able to kind of fend him off. So now the Black Orcs are going to be chasing. Now this, I think, might have been my first mistake here, is pushing forward with the Black Orcs. But nonetheless, they can fight against pretty much everything over here, but very good stuff by Hadries. So what he did here is he falls back. He's pulling my Black Orcs away from my main army. From here, he can attack with Malekith and get some really good value, but it's still, we're doing good in the back line. We have lost a couple Archers. They've taken some damage, but pretty much all of the Dark Riders are offline. These ones are broken and dead. Pretty much these guys are offline here. We're trying to chase here, but I do over chase a little bit. You can see these Forest Goblin Spider Riders get a little bit crunk, and Hadries does countercharge here with the Slaanesha's Harvesters. So very good catch there. He's going to be able to get the value from that. But our backline is now secure, which is great. So we're in okay shape. Doom Diver catapults are going to be shooting downtown, and Black Orcs are immune to psychology, so they're not going to buckle against Malekith. And you can see they're going to be taking these guys to Pound Town in here. These Black Orcs are quite happy about this situation. And over here, I think they're fighting the Hellbroni and some Sisters of Singing Doom and other things like that. So they should be okay. And don't mind that. Our neighbor got a new giant German Shepherd, so he's going to be howling. Hopefully not for this whole replay, but we'll find out here in just a moment. So the Warlords boys going to be fighting here. They have 76 models, and they're going to be going downtown into the Sisters of Singing Doom, and hopefully that'll be good. And in the back line of the Greenskins, you can still see there's plenty of Dark Elf pressure. There's going to be the Slaanesha's Harvesters, these Dark Riders coming back in. Now, I do have Forest Goblin Spide Riders. I have 2 groups of the Nasty Skulkers, I believe, although this one looks like it's unmanned. I might have overchased a little bit. I think I was actually fighting these Dark Riders, and they just ended up chasing them. So that was a big mistake right there. So it leaves a little bit of an opening, but nonetheless, Goblin Big Boss, Warzog is here. We're also going to be popping some magic here on the Forest Goblin Spide Riders. So the Fist of Gork does go down right there, and it looks like he is going to be charging in here. Nasty Skulkers do, of course, have stock. We popped the Smoke Bomb. I think he still gets the charge bonus. I don't know if he got that sweet, sweet spot where you can sometimes block the charge bonus. But nonetheless, Slaanesha's Harvesters are getting prison shanked super hard by the Nasty Skulkers, so quite happy about this. And without the bounce fire, it's pretty much damn even. You can see the Orc Air Boys here in pretty good shape. I still have some reserve troops. So I have the 8-peak Loonies, I have Goblin Riders. Some of my archers are going to be coming back online. So basically, I've secured my back line, done some pretty good damage with the Doom Divers. You can see across the board, Blackheart Corsairs are pretty beat up. And the Black Orcs actually were able to put some hurt on the Sisters of Slaughter, but his fallback tactics were really, really good. Falling back or pulling my troops back with the skirmishing and then attacking with the dragon when they're a little bit safer out of range of my supporting elements. That was really, really good play. So Malekith is going to be coming in, taking some fire in the dome, and the Doom Divers are going to be shooting downtown, but you can see here a little bit compromised. Unfortunately, this Doom Diver catapult crew is just going to get shreked as a mighty Black Dragon as well as these Dark Riders do swoop in here. So yeah, rest in peace, Goblins there. They paid their dues for sure, but that's a pretty big investment to lose. Doom Diver catapults are like 800, 900, and it's one of the main reasons why I am ahead in the balance of power here. So in the meantime, these Nasty Skulkers are going to be surging in. Warzog's going to be trying to help out, and I'm just doing everything I can to try and secure this position. But you can see here, it's going to be pretty grim for the Doom Diver catapults, and very good play there. He flies in, he baits me in a little bit, gets my value, right? He gets my Goblin Big Boss, he gets Warzog, and then a Soul Stealer is going to be going down as well, which hits everything. And now suddenly my backline's a little bit pressured. Hadri's coming in balls deep with the Helibroni, the chillest of all the dudes in the realm. We're going to be charging in with Warzog. I mean, just trying to get these Orc Air Boys back, trying to get my missile units back online. And even still, he's charging in with the Dark Riders with the Peter Crossbows, which are going to die, but at the very least, they are tying up this position. Now his Corsair Handbows are going to be re-advancing in here, shooting into my blob. And I do get an effigy of the Git because he was going to charge in there and probably attack Warzog. So it's a little bit tough. I wanted to use it on the Sisters over here and try and get a little bit more value from my backline before they caught me. But I do have to use it on Warzog, or not Warzog, on Malekith, or he pretty much would have just killed my Lord right there. Now the bounce fire is ebbing a little bit, but a massive erect Foot of Gork coming down and smashing the Sisters of Singing Doom. Now it does hurt my 8-peak Loonies, but the good thing about these guys, they're unbreakable. They don't really care. So I was like, let's smash these Gits right here. Let's smash these Sisters, and hopefully we'll break them off. But they have pretty good leadership themselves. They're a pretty elite unit, but it was pretty good value. We broke off the Missile Cav right there, and we also took out the Sisters. But here you can see Big Daddy Malekith coming in with the Steel Chair, attacking Warzog, and he's also surrounded by the Sisters, so he's going to be rampaging, so I have no micro. And this Goblin's going to be he's going to try and be the hero here, the Goblin Big Boss. He charges back in, he attacks, but alas, Warzog is going to be getting chased off here, and it's going to be a grim, dark universe for him. Now my Orc Air Boys, pretty much all that stuff's going to be crumbling. Greenskins are a faction like that. If there's a big turn of the tide, or your Lord gets taken out pretty quick, everything can kind of crumble apart. Now in the back, I do have a couple Black Orcs who are going to be coming back in. These guys got their axes, they're ready to party, and might be able to smash some of these guys, but nonetheless, I don't think I have enough to get back. Warzog's getting chased off by Malekith. I have a couple troops in reserve coming back. Well, not reserve. They're from route coming back. They're rallying. Nasty Skulkers. We got some Forest Goblin Spide Riders who are doing a pretty good job, and they trade very efficiently with Dark Riders. But with Malekith just reigning, supreme here, all I really have left are some Goblins. So very well played to Hadri's. It was a super solid game for sure. The Doom Diver experiment, I don't know. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for sure. I think it got me some pretty good value. I think that there were other factors that, my misplays. I think my misplays cost me the game for sure. And he played super well. And he just outplayed me that game. Did a really good job. The Doom Divers weren't bad. I think putting them further back would have been a little bit better. Just being more disciplined with having my Nasty Skulkers in position on top of them instead of falling back, because that kind of compromised my back line a little bit. The Orc Air Boys were okay. I was kind of like, if he comes with a huge Sister Rush, like Sisters of Slaughter and troops like that, they would be pretty good and against Malekith. But I don't know. Maybe cut the archers if you're going to be going with Doom Divers. It kind of is the same thing, sort of. I mean, maybe get one more Doom Diver if you want to go all in with that. We can actually look at a build. I mean, if I were playing in a tournament though, and there was money on the line, I probably still wouldn't bring Doom Diver catapults. Maybe it could catch your opponent off guard, but Dark Elves do have really good backline harass with Dark Riders and things like that. And you can see it's a little bit tough to kind of keep those guys going, but I think maybe if you're a little bit more diligent in protecting them, maybe they could generate some pretty good value. But nonetheless, Warzog's always a pretty good pick. Azag actually isn't bad here either. He can Spirit Leech Fam on Malekith, and he can actually put up a really good fight against Malekith with some support, and it can be pretty scary. So there probably is a case to say that Azag's a little bit better on his Wyvern because he isn't going to get sniped out as easily. But man, FG of the Get is just so good. We were able to catch those Harvesters early and really shut them down for the beginning of the game, which, kind of put us ahead. The bounce power, I think, wasn't our favorite at a point, but when our Black Orcs overextended and he just kind of counterpunched us, I think that's what really won the game. So maybe keeping the Black Orcs a little bit more disciplined, keeping them a little bit tighter so they can't be just, free farmed by Malekith. I think that was probably something that would have been pretty important there for sure. But I don't know. Black Orcs in this matchup, they're pretty good. They beat pretty much everything. Even against like Karganeth and Elite builds, they will do well, especially with the support of Wa Magic and the Bonewood Staff. So I feel like Black Orcs are a pretty good staple. And the Goblins, you basically just bring them as like good filler, like good chaff. But yeah, I feel like it was a decent build. I got to play a little bit more with Doom Divers against Dark Elves. I haven't done it in quite some time, but I do think they're good. Maybe just a little bit better micro on my part, better protection of the back line. Cutting the archers so I don't have to defend so much because I was really stretched thin defending against all of his cab units and with his micro Malekith, plus these 4 units, plus the Dark Riders. It was tough to defend with just these guys, especially since one of them was in the front line. So I think maybe just cutting down the amount of assets I need to protect. Like maybe just keep the Rusty Airs, because that would have been easy to protect, just them and the Doom Divers, and then from there just get some more cab myself, get some Orc Warboy Biggins or the Broken Test Mob or something like that. I think that could be pretty solid. So very well played, Hadries. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Greenskin versus Dark Elf showdown, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.